You know, people always say just stop caring about what others think. And it's really easier said than done because that advice has never really helped me. Because if it were that easy, then we'd already be doing it by now. And if it were that simple, there wouldn't be so many people walking around second guessing themselves or replaying conversations in their head or wondering if they said too much or not enough. But the truth is, caring what people think doesn't make you weak. It means you care about connection, you care about being understood, and it means you're human. And honestly, anyone who says that anyone that says they don't care at all usually isn't being fully truthful, or they've learned how to numb themselves because we're wired to want to belong. We're wired to want to be seen and we want to matter. And the problem isn't caring. The problem is letting other people decide who you're allowed to be. And that's where things start to break down. Because once you start editing yourself for comfort, for approval, and validation, you stop living from the inside. At some point, I realized that no matter what you do, someone is going to misunderstand you, someone's going to mock you, and someone's going to project their own stuff onto you. And that part is unavoidable. You could be kind, honest, gentle, and trying your best, and someone will find a way to twist it. And if you keep adjusting yourself to avoid that, then you start to slowly disappear. You start losing yourself. You stop being honest. You stop being wholehearted and you stop trusting yourself. You start asking questions like, was I too much? Should I have said that? Maybe I shouldn't be like this. And that costs more than judgment ever will. Again, you're losing yourself. Because now it's not just other people hurting you, you're doing it to yourself. I think the real shift happens whenever you start asking yourself questions like, who actually gets a vote in my life? Because you start to realize that not everyone deserves access to your confidence. Not everyone deserves a say in your purpose. Not everyone's opinion is equal, even if it's loud. And what I mean by when their opinion is loud, that it feels the most true to you, even though it shouldn't be. And that part took me quite a while to learn, actually. Because when you care deeply, you tend to give everyone a microphone. You listen to strangers, you listen to critics, and you listen to people who don't know your heart, your story, or your intentions. But volume doesn't equal authority. Just because someone has an opinion doesn't mean it's informed. And just because someone speaks confidently doesn't mean they're right. And here's what I've done to help myself with this. I stopped trying to be liked and I started trying to be more aligned. Aligned with my values, aligned with my purpose, and aligned with the version of me I respect. That shift doesn't make life easier, but it made it clearer. Because when you're aligned, criticism still hurts, but it doesn't control you. And judgment still exists, but it doesn't own you. It doesn't own you like it used to. You don't spiral the same way, and you don't abandon yourself the same way, and you don't chase reassurance the same way. You're finally listening to yourself. You can sit with discomfort without immediately changing who you are. And yeah, you might lose some people, and it's gonna hurt. But you might notice some people get distant, and some people get uncomfortable, and some people may stop clapping when you perform. But the people you lose were never walking towards the real you, anyways. So don't bother with it. Honestly, I don't entirely mean don't bother with it, but I mean don't let it affect you. Because they were attached to a version of you that stayed small, quiet, or convenient. So if you're someone who cares deeply, don't shame yourself for that. Don't harden yourself, don't numb yourself, and don't pretend that you don't feel things. Just make sure you're caring about the right voices. The voices that want you honest, not filtered. The voices that want you grounded, not approved. And the voices that want you whole, not quiet. Because your life is too meaningful to be lived for approval. Approval that was never guaranteed in the first place. And the goal isn't to stop caring, it's to stop letting other people replace your voice with theirs. To finally understand your worth and your value, rather than to let others walk around it. And that's kind of just what I wanted to get at in this video today. So thank you for listening and good night.